Hello everyone, welcome to Raos Academy for Competitive Examinations. This is Eswar Kumar. So today we know that our UPSC preliminary exam was completed. So as usual, UPSC Union Public Service Commission had given shocks to the aspirants. So like finally UPSC had become Union Paper Shocking Commission as usual. So since 3 years we are seeing that UPSC is giving shocks to us, and we know that if you see the paper of today, that is a paper 1, finally we can come to the conclusion that finally here we can come to the conclusion that the student who had prepared with analytical capabilities, means like the student who has in-depth knowledge and who has the capacity of doing 360 degrees analysis on the topic can answer the questions in these examinations. Clear? So right, see here, and one thing we have to know that if a student has a right mentorship, proper guidance from the experts, like already selected candidates, senior most faculties, and senior bureaucrats. If a student has all these persons guidance, he can able to answer these questions, because nowadays our UPSC is giving like questions completely on analytical orientation only. So that's the thing. So if you have the proper guidance seniors and like a senior most faculties, then you are able to answer all these type of questions. That's the thing. And coming to here the cutoff you can see here. So like a cutoff will be, so as per the paper standard and also as per the feedback from the students. So as per the feedback from the students, the paper, so we finally we made the cutoff. Okay, so let's see here. So like for general category, the cutoff is going to be 83 to 87 marks. So 83 to 87 marks cutoff will be there. And EWS category 78 to 81, OBC category 80 to 83, SC category 70 to 73, and ST category 68 to 71, and PWBD category 43 to 60. So this is the cutoff going to be for this examination. Okay, so here the paper is not easy, paper is not moderate, paper somewhat difficult, and also as usual, so UPSC had given some like jerks to the students. Okay, that's the thing. So as part of thing, and one thing before going to our video, so we have to know some information. You have to know some information that our Raos Academy is going to launch our main test series mentorship. So 2025. So here we are providing one-to-one mentorship, and also we will provide the model answers after the examination, and also success strategy will be provided by senior bureaucrats, senior faculties, and also the toppers. And within 5 days, so like within 5 days, we will evaluate the answers and we will give the feedback to every student. Okay, so within the 5 days we will give the feedback to the student. Okay, then after that, so here you can see, so like from June of 5th 2025, we are going to launch this mentorship program. So like we starts with English, Telugu, essay, GS paper 1 2 3 4, like that. So the test series will be up to August 11th. And also after that we will provide some rapid revision course as well, rapid revision classes related to the mains examination. Clear? Okay, so and also we are providing at a low cost, we are providing at very low cost, and this mentorship will be started from when? From 5th of June. Okay, so if you have any queries, you can reach to our branch, which was located near steel bridge pillar number 39 and in between 39 and 40 on near Ashok Nagar crossroads. Okay, and if you have any queries, you can contact to our numbers, that is 95220551 or else 9522205552. So these are our contact numbers. You can call to these numbers. Clear? So right, so let's start. So here in this video we will explore the answers to these questions, as well as we will explore the sources of these questions. Why? Because so exploring like this is very important. Exploring like this is very, very important. So right, because we have to know what, like we have to know that from where the questions are coming, so that we can mold ourselves for the next examination, like that is for mains examination, right? So let us see. So here the first question. So this is the set number B. So set B, the question paper is like set B. Already we know that A, B, C, D, we have 4 sets. Among that, set B I am going to explain. Okay, you can check the questions here. Like here the question is the, consider the following types of vehicles. Like 1, full battery electric vehicles, 1 option. And statement 2, hydrofuel cell vehicles, 3, fuel cell electric hybrid vehicles. So how many of the above are considered as alternative powertrain vehicles? So it is a question here. It is a question here. So you can see the options here, like only 1, only 2, all the 3, D, none. So what is the answer for this question? I can directly go for C is the answer for this question. Because like alternative powertrain vehicles are those that do not rely solely on traditional internal combustion engines. Okay, so these vehicles are not solely dependent upon the IC engines. We call it as internal combustion engines that already we have. All like as of now we have vehicles. So these vehicles are running with the help of IC engines, like we can call it as internal combustion engines, which has like a piston and cylinders. So in general, as of now, we have the vehicles which has a piston cylinder with the 4 cylinders and 4 pistons. Okay, so this is the thing. So finally, for this question, answer is that all the 3, like a full battery electric vehicles, hydrogen fuel cell vehicles, and fuel cell electric hybrid vehicles. Okay, so these are the alternative vehicles. That's the thing. And after that, and here, one thing you have to know here, source. What is the source for this question? Source for this question is that government document like FAME India scheme, so which was launched by Ministry of Heavy Industries. Okay, so the main intention of the FAME scheme is that to manufacture to manufacture electric vehicles. The main intention of the FAME India scheme is that to manufacture electric vehicles. Instead of manufacturing fossil fuel vehicles, we have to opt for FAME, like electric vehicles, so that combustion of fossil fuels can be reduced. And also we have target that by 2070, by 2070, we have to achieve our net zero emissions target. So for that, what we have to know, what we have to do, we have to shift from usage of fossil fuel vehicles to like the electrical vehicles, or else green hydrogen powered vehicles, or else hydrogen fuel vehicles. That's the thing. So that's the objective of the FAME India scheme. And one more source for this question is that National Hydrogen Mission, that is the 2021. Okay, so even the National Hydrogen Mission also supports that like the generation of green hydrogen fuel for the vehicles. That's the motto here. And coming to here, one more question, like with reference to unmanned aerial vehicles, UAVs. Consider the following statements, like 1, all types of UAVs can do vertical landing. So like here option is that all types of UAVs can do vertical landing. And statement 2 is that all types of UAVs can do automated hovering. And 3, all types of UAVs can use battery only as a source of power supply. So these are the options given here. Okay, so let's go for the analysis. Like here, the options like you can say A, only one, and B, only 2, 3, all the 3, and D, none. So here is the none. So given D as a none. So here, what is the answer for this question? D is the answer. D is the answer. Like you can see here, see, all types of UAVs can do vertical landing, but here one words given, all types. But some vehicles can land horizontally. Okay, like some UAVs has the capacity of landing by tilting in all the directions. So that's why we can say that one is the wrong. And all UAVs can do automated hovering. No, it's not possible. All the vehicles cannot do, all the UAVs cannot do automated hovering. So we can go for, you can go for two is also wrong. And all types of UAVs can use battery only as a source of power supply. See here. So as of now, like we are able to use only battery for the power, like only battery as a source of power supply for these UAVs. But in the future times, there is a chance of vehicles, UAVs running through solar powered. And in the future times, there is a chance of UAVs running through nuclear energy, because as of now, technology is developing a lot. So as of now, our technology is developing a lot. Okay. So in the future times, there is a chance. So of course, so according to that conclusion, we can say that we can say that 3 is the wrong. So with that conclusion, we can go for D. So none of the options are true. Okay. So and its source of this question is that, like science and technology current affairs, and also NCRT physics class 11 energy chapter. Okay, so it is the source of this question. And coming to here, one more question. In the context of electric vehicle batteries, consider the following elements. So like here the options are 1 cobalt, 2 graphite, 3 lithium, and 4 nickel. So how many of the above usually make up battery cathodes? So simply he is asking about which among the following are acting as a cathodes. This is the question here. Okay, this is the question here. So here the option is like they have given cobalt, graphite, lithium, and nickel. Clear. So here the only three like cobalt, lithium, and nickel. So these three only can be used as cathodes. Clear? These three only can be used as cathode, but not graphite. So that's why we can go for the answer that only three. Only three. So that is like C is the answer for this question. C is the answer for this question. Clear? So you can see here cobalt. So like you can see here like a role in cathode used in lithium cobalt oxide. So cobalt is used as a lithium cobalt oxide, and also lithium nickel manganese cobalt oxide. So which is acting as a cathode. So finally we can say that cobalt is a cathode. Cobalt is a cathode, and lithium is also acting as a cathodes, because we are using this lithium mineral in batteries as a cathode. And we know that everyone has mobile phones, everyone some persons has EV vehicles, electric vehicles. Okay, so what is the battery, which mineral is used in that battery? So here lithium. So we are using lithium in that batteries. Okay, so in that battery, in that electrical vehicle battery, or else in our mobile phones battery, lithium is acting as a cathode. So that's why we can say 2 is also right, like lithium is also acting as cathode. And coming to her nickel, so here nickel also acting as a cathode in some of the batteries, or else some of the electrical or fuel cells. Okay, some of the fuel cells, nickel is acting as a cathode. So finally we can say that cobalt, lithium, nickel are the cathodes. And coming to her graphite, so here it is not graphite, we are using it as a anode finally, right? So we are using it as a anode. Graphite is anode, and remaining three are the cathodes. Okay, that's the thing. And you know that already we have discussed in the previous classes that every battery has two types of rods. One is anode rod, and second one is a cathode rod. So cathode rods are made up of lithium, cobalt, and nickel, whereas anode is made up of graphite. Okay, so that's the information you have to know here. Already these are the so this question is already, and we can find these information in NCRT or textbooks as well. Okay, then after that, one more question. Like here the question is that, fourth question, consider the following. Here the fourth question is that, consider the following. So like cigarette butts, eyeglass lenses, car tires. How many of them contain plastic? Can you say? How many of them contains the plastic? All the three. I can say that all the three. So all these three, like cigarette butts has the plastic material in it, eyeglass lenses made up of some type of polymers, some type of plastic polymers, and also we know that car tires generally as usual. So as we are seeing everywhere, car tires are made up of some fiber as well as a plastic. Okay, so with that information we can go for C is the answer for this question. Clear? Like a cigarette butts, so we can find plastic content in cigarette butts. Like the filter is made up of cellulose acetate, a synthetic polymer. Clear? So like if you see the cigarette, like the top of the cigarette we have on butt, it is made up of cellulose acetate. So cellulose acetate is nothing but it is a type of plastic polymer. So we can say that. So cigarette butts were made up of the plastic items. And eyeglass lenses, okay, like the modern lenses often use polycarbonate or CR39. Clear? So polycarbonate is nothing but made out of the plastic. It is one form of the plastic. So eyeglasses also the true plastic. And car tires, we know that car tires were made up of synthetic rubbers. Nothing but it is one type of polymer which we are making from the rubber. So rubber is the source. So rubber is the source for making of all types of these plastics. Along with rubber, some materials like rayon, somewhere we add Teflon to make it some extraordinary plastics. Okay, then after that, one more question, fifth question. Consider the following statements, substances. Here one is that one ethanol, two nitroglycerin, and three urea. So coal gasification technology can be used in the production of how many of them? So simply he is asking about that. So by using coal gasification, which type of materials we can produce? Is it possible to produce ethanol, nitroglycerin, and urea? So here it is the question. Okay, see here, all the three are correct because we can produce ethanol. We can produce ethanol. Like for example, during the coal gasification, some gas is going to release, that is known as syngas. That is known as syngas. So finally this syngas can be converted into ethanol. It can be converted into ethanol. What we can say, C2H5OH. It is the structure of ethanol. So like from coal we can produce syngas. So from syngas we can produce ethanol. Nothing but C2H5OH we can produce. Then after that we can produce nitroglycerin. So like we can say that nitroglycerin so is nothing but like you can see here. So like coal can be converted into syngas. Syngas can be converted into ammonia like NH3, like NH3 ammonia, and also ammonia can be converted into nitric acid. We can say that HNO3, nitric acid nothing but HNO3, and again nitric acid, that is HNO3, and again can be converted into nitroglycerin. Okay, so this is the formation. So are you satisfied with my explanation? Definitely you have to satisfy because we can produce nitroglycerin by the process of coal gasification. Then after that, one more thing, urea, like syngas derived ammonia reacts with carbon dioxide, nothing but produces urea. Okay, like you can see here, like whenever, like we know that during the process of coal gasification, what is happening? Syngas is releasing. Syngas is releasing. So whenever this syngas reacts with whenever it like us whenever syngas produces ammonia, that is NH3, so NH3 finally reacts with carbon dioxide. Finally what is happening? It is going to produce urea. That's the thing. So nothing but nitrogen compound. We know that urea. Where do we use urea? We use urea for fertilizers. So for increase of the productivity of agriculture crop, we use urea. Clear? What we are using? We are using urea. So that's the thing you have to keep in your mind. Then after that, one more question. Sixth question is that consider the following compounds. So here the compounds are like Cl20, HMX and LLM105. So simply he is asking that what are these materials? What are these compounds? What are these compounds? Like Cl20, HMX, LLM105. What are those compounds? They are military weapons. So these are the explosives in military weapons. Like B, we can say that B is the answer for this question. Clear? So we can decode it. So Cl20, China Lake compound 20. Clear? So and HMX, high melting explosive. It is a powerful military weapon. So it is a very powerful explosive. That's the thing. Clear? And after that, one more thing, LLM 105. So it is a low sensitive explosive. So finally, all these compounds are explosives. So which are used in military operations. So and we know that recently war is going on in between like nations like Russia and Ukraine, and also war is going in between Palestine and what we call Israel, and also recently like some issues were happened in between India and Pakistan, and also internally inside of Pakistan issues and conflicts are going on in between Balochistan Liberation Army and Pakistan. Okay, so in that aspects, in that circumstances, our UPSC raised this question. Okay, so that's the thing. And coming to her, one more question related to the quantum computing. Related to the quantum computing, you can see here. So consider the following statements. So it is expected that Majorana 1 chip will enable quantum computing. Okay, next Majorana 1 chip has been introduced by Amazon Web Services. Clear? So deep learning is a subset of machine learning. So these are the statements given by for under this question like quantum computing. So which of the statements given above is correct? We have to find them. Clear? So like you can say that Majorana 1 chip has been introduced by Amazon Web Service. So which is a true, and deep learning is a subset of machine learning. Exactly. Okay. So like it is a subset of deep learning is a subset of machine learning. Okay. And why this question was raised? Because there are two reasons. One is that 2025 year was declared as National Quantum Mission Year. Okay, so what is that? One thing is that it was declared as this year was declared as quantum year, and also international quantum year as well. Okay, and one more thing is that our government of India had launched National Quantum Mission because we want to develop quantum computing at advanced level. So that's the main reasons here. Okay, so that's why National Quantum Mission was in the news, and also 2025 was declared as National International Quantum Year because of India's uh, demand at international platform. That's the thing. So that's why this question was in UPSC. So finally here answer for this question is that B is the answer. B is the answer for this question. And one more question you can see here, like with reference to monoclonal antibodies often mentioned in news, consider the following statements. Like one, they are man-made proteins. Statement one. Two, they stimulate immunological function due to their ability to bind to specific antigens. And three, they are used in treating viral infections like that of Nipah virus. So we have to find which among the following statements are true. So finally here that with reference to monoclonal antibodies, they are completely man-made proteins. They are not naturally developed proteins. They are made by human beings. They are artificial proteins, we can say. So they are man-made proteins. And coming to here, they stimulate immunological function due to their ability to bind to specific antigens. Okay, so they can develop the immunity in the bodies. And coming to here, they are used in treating viral infections like Nipah virus. Okay, and we know that recently Nipah virus was also in the news because in Mumbai, in Mumbai, some persons were affected with Nipah virus, and also we know that pathogen for Nipah virus is bat. Pathogen for Nipah virus is that bat. Okay, bat. We know that bat. Okay, so so recently Nipah virus case was seen in Maharashtra. So that's why Nipah virus is in the news. So and again that's why that issue is in UPSC question paper. That's the thing. And one more question related to virus. You can see here. So consider the following statements. No virus can survive in ocean waters. No virus can infect bacteria. No virus can change the cellular transcriptional activity in host cells. Okay. So so all the statements you can see here. You can go for neither statement 2 nor statement 3 is correct. Okay. And one more thing, like related to activated carbon. So consider the following statements. One, activated carbon is a good and an attractive tool to remove pollutants from effluent streams and to remediate contaminants from various industries. Okay. And two is that activated carbon exhibits a large surface area and a strong potential for absorbing heavy metals. And three, activated carbon can be easily synthesized from environmental waste with high carbon content. So we have to find which statements are true. We have to find which statements are true here. You can see here, like so, both statement 2 and 3 are correct, and both of them explain the answer. Okay, so you can see here, activated carbon is a good and attractive tool to remove pollutants from effluent streams and to remediate contaminants from various industries. For example, I think you might have seen in your water filters. You might have observed in your water filters. Okay, so in that water filters, there is a one filter that is known as activated carbon filter. So what it does in that water filter? Simply it attracts the pollutants. So simply that activated charcoal, or else we can say activated carbon filter, what it does in the filter our what is that, our water purifier, simply it attracts pollutants. Simply it removes the pollution. It removes pollution from the water, from the stream of water. So as we can say that, which is true. And activated carbon exhibits a large surface area and a strong potential for absorbing heavy metals. Yeah. So this is used in industries, and activated carbon can be easily synthesized from environmental waste. We can do that. We can do this. We can produce them. Okay. So like activated carbon, we can produce from environmental waste because even environmental waste has a carbon content in it. So everywhere we can see the carbon content in the nature. We can see carbon in plants. We can find carbon in fossil fuels. So everywhere we can see carbon. Everywhere we can see the carbon. Okay. So that's why for this question we can go for this question we can say that answer A is the right. Okay. And coming to here, question related to cement industry and carbon emissions. Question number 11. So it is related to cement industry and carbon emissions. So let's go for analysis. So studies indicate that carbon dioxide emissions from the cement industry account for more than 5% of global carbon emissions. So here, this is the option. And silica bearing clay is mixed with limestone while manufacturing cement. We have to find whether it is a true or false. Limestone is converted into lime during clinker production for cement manufacturing. Okay, so here are the options, like they have given that both statement 2 and 3 are correct, and statement 2 and 3 are correct, but only one of them explains the statement 1. And C, only one of the statements 2 and 3 is correct, and that explains statement 1. And coming to her D option is that neither statement 2 nor statement 3 is correct. Okay, so this is the thing. So finally they have given the 4 options. Clear. So among that we have to find which statement is true. Let's go for analysis. So both statements like like you can go for. Studies indicate that carbon dioxide emission from the cement industry account for more than 5% of global carbon emissions, which is it true? So we can find this information. Okay, so like Down to Earth magazine. So this question was taken from Down to Earth magazine. So recently there was a news related to cement industry and its pollution. Cement industry affecting the environment. So it was an article published in Down to Earth magazine. So source for this question is that Down to Earth magazine. Clear. So one thing and one more thing. Silica bearing clay is mixed with limestone while manufacturing cement. And we know that what are the compounds that we use for making of cement. Let's go for analysis. Like in general, we use limestone for making of cement. So we add limestone and also we add clay. So like it is like ratio, we can say that 4:1. 4:1. 4 parts of limestone is added with 1 part of clay. Okay, so these 4 parts and 1 part, totally 5 parts are mixed into powder material. So that process is known as clinker production. So finally what is that? So limestone, 4 parts of limestone and 1 part of clay is mixed. Clear. So it is mixed into a powder. So that process is known as clinker production. Then after the clinker production, what we are doing? We are adding gypsum to it. We are adding gypsum to it. And also after the addition of gypsum, we are adding silicates. Silicates like you can say calcium silicates and also aluminium silicates, and also we are adding magnesium silicates. Clear. So to the clinker material we are adding silicon calcium, aluminium silicon, and also aluminium magnesium. Clear. So these are the materials that we are adding to manufacture cement. So with that information, can we say that, is it possible to say that 2 is right? Yeah, exactly. So 2 is the right. And coming to here 3, limestone is converted into lime during clinker production for cement manufacturing. Exactly. So finally what we are doing? We are converting limestone into lime by adding these materials like a silicon calcium, silicon aluminium, and silicon magnesium. So that's finally we can say that all the statements are true, and these statements are satisfying with each other. And coming to here one more question. That it's related to COP28 and climate and health declaration. Question 12 is related to Conference of Parties 28 and climate and health declaration. Clear. So you can see here question. So consider the following statements. One, at the 28th United Nations Climate Change Conference, that is COP28, India refrained from signing the Declaration on Climate and Health. That's the one statement. 2, the COP28 Declaration on Climate and Health is a binding declaration, and if signed, it becomes mandatory to decarbonize the health sector. We will discuss, don't worry. Okay. And 3, if India's health sector is decarbonized, the resilience of its healthcare system may be compromised. So these are the statements given. We have to choose the right one. Clear. So here the options are like both statement 2 and 3 are correct, and both of them explain statement 1, or like both statement 2 and 3 are correct, and but only one of them explains the statement 1. See, only one of the statement like 2 and 3 is correct, that explains statement 1. Okay, and one more thing is that neither statement 2 nor statement 3 is correct. Okay, so we have to find the right answer for this question. So let's go for Okay, see here. So like we can say that, so 28th United Nations Climate Change Conference. So COP28, India refrained from signing the document. Is exactly. So India did not sign in it, and also COP Declaration on Climate and Health is not a binding. One thing you have to know here, if any MOUs happen in between the nations, if any agreements happen in between the nations, or else if any understandings happen in between the nations and international organizations, most of the time they were not binding, they were voluntarily made documents, so they are not binding. So though most of the time the documents are non-binding in nature, most of the time the documents are non-binding in nature. So that's the point you have to keep in your mind. Clear? So like we can say, COP20 Declaration on Climate and Health is not a legally binding document. So it is a voluntarily committed document. Okay, so that's the point you have to keep in your mind. Okay, even for example, there is international organization called International Court of Justice. There is international organization, so International Court of Justice. So if this premier institution delivers the judgment, the judgment is not binding on the parties. Clear? So like in the similar way, like how we have Supreme Court of India in India, to which resolves the conflicts among the parties. In the similar way, to resolve the conflicts among the nations, there was one body which is known as International Court of Justice, ICJ. We call it as ICJ. So if it delivers judgment, the judgment is not binding. Clear? So sometimes if the country or else if the parties want to obey it, they can obey. If not, they can skip. For example, like related to South China Sea, recently, like International Court of Justice had delivered the judgment on South China Sea. So as per the judgment given by ICJ, China should not, without the permission of international bodies, like without the permission of employees, China should not involve where in South China Sea exploration. But China, what it had done, it had set aside the declaration, it had set the judgment given by ICJ, and China and again started and doing exploration in South China Sea. So simply we can say that it is a violation of the judgment passed by International Premier Court. So why I have said this in example, because even the judgment delivered by ICJ is not binding, even how it becomes the binding, how this declaration becomes binding on the parties. So we have to think logically. Clear? So this is not a legally binding document. And after that, decarbonization of the health sector, if pursued, would likely enhance resilience rather than compromise it by improving sustainability and reducing dependency on carbon intensive systems. Okay, so even like a statement, what we can say, third statement is, we can say that third statement is also false, because so if you are able to, if of the decarbonization, what will happen, we can reduce the pollution. One thing, so carbonization means pollution, decarbonization means what? Decarbonization means we are not doing pollution. Okay, we are like moving towards a greener economy, we are leading towards the green environment, pollution free environment. So decarbonizing means we are leaning towards the good environment. That's the thing, pollution free environment. See here, so if you opt for decarbonization means, which is a good for us, because with the decarbonization we are not polluting. Okay, so we are not polluting the environment, we are not the reason for the damage of the health of the people, we can say that. Okay, then after that, one more question, question 13, earth's rotation and solar flares. The topic is that earth's rotation and solar flares question. So here question is that consider the following statements. Consider the following statements. Okay, like one, scientific study suggests that a shift is taking place in Earth's rotation and axis. So simply he is saying that Earth's axis, like we know that this is our Earth. Our Earth was inclined with the like a horizontal plane at like we can say that 23.5 degrees. Clear. So our Earth was inclined. See, this is the horizontal. So our Earth's axis, our real Earth's axis was inclined with the horizontal plane at 23.5 degrees. Okay. So as per this statement, what is that? Our Earth's axis is changing and also Earth's rotation is also changing. We have to find whether it is true or false. And one thing. Two, solar flares and associated coronal mass ejections bombarded the Earth's outermost atmosphere with tremendous amounts of energy. So simply saying that, and recently, like simply the statement is saying that solar flares are the reason for the increase of the atmosphere of the Earth. Simple thing. So we have to find whether it is true or false. Okay, means solar flares are coming towards the atmosphere of the Earth. So those flares are bombarding on the atmosphere. So that's the statement. 2. 3 is saying that as the Earth's polar ice melts, the water tends to move towards the equator. So we have to find whether it is possible or not. Okay. So we have to say that whether it is a true or false. Like here, these are the statements. Like both statement 2, 3 are correct. 2 and 3 correct. Only one of statements like 2 and 3 correct, and also explains the statement about 1. Neither statement 2 nor statement 3 is correct. Okay. So we have to find the right answer for this question. Okay. So we have to find right answer for this question. Clear. So simply is saying that we can say that like as the earth's polar ice melts, the water tends to move towards the equator. Sometimes it may happens. For example, see here, this is our earth. Our earth always rotates from west to east. Our earth always rotates from west to east, and it has the inclination. Earth makes inclination with the horizontal plane around 23.5 degrees. And one thing you have to know, this is our equator. This is our equator. The real circumstances, we don't have any real existed boundaries on the earth. Okay, we don't have any real existed longitudes and latitudes. So simply these latitudes and longitudes are imaginary ones. So really they were not on the earth for our convenient. We have imagined latitudes and longitudes. And finally, one thing is that our earth is one. Completely our earth is one. So if water melts in polar region, it may come to here. It may come to the equator. Why? Because continuously our earth is rotating from west to east. Why? Because our earth is rotating from west to east. That's the thing. Clear. And one thing you have to know here, during the rotation of the earth, one force is generated continuously, that is known as Coriolis force. We can say that Coriolis force. So whenever earth rotates from west to east, one pressure gradient, that is Coriolis force, is developed. So due to that, what is happening? Currents are generated. So currents, we can say that currents are nothing but movement of the water, but movement of the water on the earth. So these currents are moving in all the directions. Like for example, we can say, for example, if it is equator, the currents are moving from equator towards the poles, and sometimes the currents are moving from polar regions to equator. In that point of time, there is a chance of moving of water. The melted water from polar regions there is a chance of moving towards equator. So that we can say that 3 is also right. And one more thing, solar flares are emitted by the sun. So, and we know that continuously on surface of this on surface of the sun, what is happening? Nuclear reactions are happening. So on surface of the sun, continuously nuclear reactions were happening. So due to that, what is happening? Some energy is emitting out from the sun. So that emitted energy is known as solar flares. Clear? That emitted energy is known as solar flares. So these flares, we can say that. So these flares, whatever emitting from the sun, are entering towards the earth, and also they are entering into our atmosphere. So which is the reason for alteration of magnetic nature of the earth. Clear? So which is the reason for increase of the temperature of the earth as well as the change of the magnetic nature of the earth. So we can say that 2 is also true. And also due to the melting of snow and ice and glaciers, our scientists had observed that the axis of the earth is leaning someward. So we can say that 1 is also true. Okay, so all the statements are true, but they are not clearly explaining the statement 1. So that's why we can go for B. We can go for B is the answer. And one more question related to Paris Agreement and carbon markets. Yeah, thank you so much, Srikant Reddy Garu, for your compliment. Thank you so much. And please subscribe our RAO'S Academy YouTube channel for regular updates. Okay, so we are continuously taking classes. Okay, on RAO'S Academy, they are completely free to the students. Okay, and also we have RAO'S Academy app from the RAO'S Academy in the Play Store as well as Apple Store. You can download it from Play Store as well as iPhone, and you can access the valuable content, and also you can access the free content. You can access the test series, mentorship programs, guidance, motivation, whatnot. Everything you can find in our RAO'S Academy app. Okay, that's the thing. And also, if you have any queries, and also if you need any mentorship and guidance from us, you can reach to our office. So our institute, our branch was located near Steel Bridge Pillar number 39 of Ashok Nagar, Hyderabad. Okay, that's the thing. And question 14, Paris Agreement and carbon markets. Like, consider the following statements. So here the statements are like Article 6 of the Paris Agreement on climate change is frequently discussed. Discussed in global discussion on sustainable development and climate change. Article 6 of Paris Agreement on climate change sets out the principles of carbon markets. So simply is asking about the factual information, that is simply is asking about Paris Agreement. Okay, and we know that a Paris Agreement. So Paris Agreement was happened in the year 2015 in the place called Conference of Parties 21. Clear? So like in the place called France, Paris. Clear? So like in the year 2015, Conference of Parties 21 was held in Paris. In that Paris, all the countries came united and they they have done Paris Agreement. Okay, they have signed on the Paris Agreement. They have signed on the Paris Declaration. So in the Paris Declaration, there are some articles like Article 6. So simply here they have given the options like Article 6 is related to sustainable development and climate change. 6 and again related to carbon markets. 6 is related to like climate targets. So right statement we have to find here. Clear? You can see here Article 6 of the Paris Agreement is integral to global climate discussions as it governs carbon markets and cooperative approaches. Clear? So purely it is a factual question, factual information. It establishes mechanism for market based solutions, carbon trading and non-market approaches, for international corporation, and these aspects contribute to the broader efforts towards sustainable development. So finally, our answer for this question is that A. So both statement 2 and 3 are correct, and both of them explain the statement 1. So whatever the information given in this question, all that information, all that statements are true. All that information and statements are true. Clear? So that's the thing you have to keep in your mind. And question number 15, Nature Solutions Finance Hub. So the topic is that Nature Solutions Finance Hub is the topic here. So here the question is that which one of the following launched the Nature Solutions Finance Hub for Asia and the Pacific? So purely it is a general knowledge based question. Purely it is a factual based questions. We have to find the right answer here. Like simply it is that the Asian Development Bank. So Asian Development Bank had launched Nature Solutions Finance Hub. Clear. So the main intention of Asian Development Bank's Nature Solutions Financial Hub is that to promote financial strategies for nature-based solutions in Asia and Pacific. Simply, ADB launched this environmental friendly initiative. So it is like a environmental friendly initiative launched to protect our environment, to protect our biodiversity, to protect our fauna and flora, to protect our fauna as well as flora. Clear? So that's the thing. So finally, so for this question, answer is that A, Asian Development Bank. And one more question, related to direct air capture technology. Direct air capture technology is the question. Clear? So air capture technology is the question. See here. Like with reference to direct air capture, an emerging technology, which of the following statements is correct? So we have to find here. 1. It can be used as a way of carbon sequestration. It can be used as a way of carbon sequestration. Clear? So we have to find whether it is true or false. It can be a valuable approach for plastic production and in food processing. In aviation, it can be a source of carbon for combining with hydrogen to create synthetic low carbon fuel. Simply, this topic is related to science and technology. One thing. So, this topic is related to science and technology. Clear? So, see one thing you have to keep. So, if the question is related to science and technology, if the technology is not present in these times, in the future times it may happen. Clear? So for example, as of now we are using fifth generation 5G technology cell phones. We are using 5G signals. Okay, we have 5G enabled mobile devices. So before 5G, what we have 4G. Clear? So we have 4G. Like again in that 4G we have LTE, and also we have volt. So LTE means long term evolution and volt means voice over long term evolution. So before 4G, what we have? We have 3G. So from 1G to, as of now we are at 5G. So what I mean to say here is that when 1G comes, 1G mostly it was came in the year like 2000s, I think 2000s. So in the year 2000 1G came out, and after that what happened? 2G, 3G, 4G, 5G came out. Now some countries already had 6G, like some foreign countries already had 6G, and in the coming years 7G may come, after that 8G may come, after that 100G may come. So there is no limit for the development of the science and technology. Somehow if it is not happened today, if it was not happened today, tomorrow it may happen. So there is a chance, there is a possibility, and also there is a probability of happening, and also probability of becoming true. So in that circumstances we can say that if the question is related to technology, we can directly go that we can directly choose option as true. Clear? So if the question is related to science and technology, The question came in the UPSC examination. If you don't know the exact answer for that statement or question, simply choose true or else correct, because today it may not be possible, but tomorrow it may possible, because there is no limitations for science and technology advancements and development. Okay, clear? So that's the thing you have to keep in your mind, my dear friends. Clear? So with that information, we are going to solve this question. Clear? So related to direct air capture, so it can be used as a way of carbon sequestration. Yes, can be used. As of now, may not be today, may not be, but tomorrow possibility is there. So that's why we can go for it is the right one. Next, it can be valuable approach for plastic production and in food processing. Yeah, we may use it. If you don't know, you might not aware of it, but some corner of the world it may happening. Clear? Some corner of the world it may happening. So as of now, you may not aware of that these technology existence. So in that circumstances, you can go for the right. Okay, so you can say that it is a true statement. And in aviation, it can be source of carbon for combining with hydrogen to create synthetic low carbon fuel. There is a chance. So carbon plus hydrogen, sometimes there is a chance of producing hydrocarbon fuels. There is a chance. Okay, so we cannot say it won't be possible, because science can do many wonders and advancements. Clear? So finally, for this question, we can go for 1, 2, 3. So all the statements are true. Clear? All the statements are true. And one more question that is related to the peacock tarantula. Nothing but goody tarantula. So this species was in the news. So the source for this question is that Hindu newspaper. Hindu newspaper directly question. It is a direct question from Hindu paper. Okay, so question is that regarding peacock tarantula, that is a goatee tarantula. So consider the following statements. So consider the following statements. Clear? So let's see here. It is an omnivorous crustaceans. Two, its natural habitat in India is only limited to some forest areas. So second statement. And three is that in its natural habitat, it is an arboreal species. So purely it is related to flora and fauna, related to environment and ecology. Okay, see here. See here, like explanation, like answer for this question is a 2 and 3. The goatee tarantula, so is not a crustacean, it is a spider species. Okay, so it is a goatee tarantula is a spider species. It is habitat is limited to certain forest regions only generally. So it is its habitat zone is in Andhra Pradesh. Its habitat zone is in Andhra Pradesh. Okay, and there was one article related to this in Hindu newspaper as well as the Times of India. So that's why this is in the paper. This is in the question paper. Clear? And it is an arboreal species, meaning it primarily lives in trees. So in general, spiders where they live in the trees. They live inside of branches of the trees. Some spiders live in inside of the roots of the trees. Okay, so that's why we can say that this is also true. Clear? Next, question 18 related to CO2 emissions in India. So question 18, CO2 emissions in India. So here the question is that consider the following statements. 1. Carbon dioxide emissions in India are less than 0.5 T. Carbon dioxide emissions in India are less than 0.5, that is a CO2 per capita. Okay. And second is that in terms of CO2 emission from fuel combustion, India ranks second in the Asia Pacific region. So simply he has given a rank of India in terms of CO2 emissions. And in the Asia Pacific region, India's rank is 2. We have to find whether it is true or false. Next, electricity and heat producers are the largest source of CO2 emissions in India. So simply the statement is saying that like electricity generation, like power plants, we can say that thermal power plants. We can say that thermal power plants along that heat and heat producers. Thermal power plants and heat producers are the reasons for the emission of carbon dioxide in India. So we have to find whether they are true or false. We have to find whether they are true or false. Okay, so let's go for the analysis. So here the right answer is C, that is 2 and 3 only. Okay, because why 1 was false? See here, what is the one? Carbon dioxide emissions in India are less than 0.5 CO2 per capita. So simply it is saying that he is saying that less than 0.5, which is a false, because not less than above the, which is not less than above the 0.5. So that's the thing. Above the 0.5, clear? So that's why statement 1 is wrong. And India is indeed second in carbon CO2 emissions. Exactly true. We are in the second place. And also the primary reason for the carbon emissions in India are electricity, that is thermal power plants. And we know that thermal power plants produce the energy. We know that thermal power plants produce the energy with the help of coal. Coal. So whenever we do the combustion of the coal, so whenever we do the process of combustion, what will happen? CO2 will be released out. Clear? So whenever we do the combustion, we do the combustion with the help of coal, what is happening? CO2 is releasing out, emitting out. So we can say that electricity production is also reason for the emission of CO2, and also heat producers. Okay, some type of electric devices, machinery is also reason for emission of CO2. Clear? So finally this statement is also true. Okay, then after that, related to question, simply is asking about which of the above pairs are correctly matched. So like one, cassava, woody shrub, ginger, harbor with pseudostem, malabar spinach, herbaceous climber, mint annual scrub, and fifth, papaya woody shrub. So we have to find like which pairs were correctly matched. So these are the options they have given. Like let's go for the solution. So cassava is correctly classified as woody shrub, and ginger, which is nothing but pseudostem herb pseudostem, which is a true. Malabar spinach, so categorized as herbaceous climber, and mint. So it is not an annual shrub, it is a perennial herb. And after that, papaya, it is not a woody shrub, it is a tea-like herb. Tea-like herb matter. Okay. Then after that, question number 20. Oxygen production on Earth. So the question is related to the production of the oxygen on the Earth. Clear? On the Earth. So next, with reference to the planet Earth, so consider the following statements. So here the statements are: rainforest produce more oxygen than oceans. So rainforest produce more oxygen than oceans. So it is the statement we have to find here. Okay. Then after that, marine phytoplankton and photosynthetic bacteria produce about 50% of the world's oxygen. We have to find whether it is true or false. And well oxygenated surface water contains several folds higher oxygen than atmospheric air. So we have to find whether it is true or false. So finally, answer for this question is that B. Okay, like marine phytoplankton and photosynthetic bacteria produce about 50% of the world bacteria. So which is a true. Okay, so and coming to your first statement, why it was wrong? Why it was wrong? Why it was wrong? Why it was wrong? Here one thing is that Rainforest produce more oxygen than marine bodies. Clear? So, like marine and ocean bodies are different. So marine bodies has the little salt content, and ocean bodies has more content, more salt content. So this is the major difference between marinity and ocean bodies. Okay, so that's why. So like rainforest produce more oxygen than marine. So it will true, and after that, like like atmospheric air generally contains a higher oxygen concentration than oxygenated water. So simply simply saying that like atmospheric air has more oxygen than the surface water. Atmosphere air contains more oxygen. For example, if you go for the statistics of the composition of gases in the atmosphere, like almost we can say that 78% of our atmosphere is filled with nitrogen 78% of our atmosphere is filled with nitrogen, and the remaining 21% is filled with oxygen. Remaining 21% is filled with oxygen. The remaining leftover 1% is comprises of all the remaining gases like carbon dioxide. Its percent is like 0.33 0.33 percentage, and the remaining gases like helium, hydrogen, neon, krypton, xenon, radon. Okay, and also like argon. So remaining percentage comprises of all these gases like hydrogen, helium, nitrogen, krypton, xenon, radon, and argon. Okay, so that's a composition of our atmosphere, the composition of gases in the atmosphere. So with that information also we can say that atmospheric oxygen is more than the oxygenated water. Okay, so that's the thing, and the remaining questions we will cover in the next video. Okay, so like one more part will come out. Okay, so the remaining questions will be explained in another video. So till then, wait for the next video. And one thing is that please subscribe our YouTube channel. So regularly we will take the live sessions. Regularly we will provide the valuable content to you guys. Okay, so as you know, as already we have seen the paper of UPSC. So like some changes are coming in UPSC. So according to the required changes, according to the demands created by the UPSC, we will train the students. Our RAO'S Academy platform will mentor, train the students as per the requirements of UPSC. So for that, if you want more information, so what you have to do, you have to download our app from the Play Store. So RAO'S Academy app is available in the Play Store as well as iOS store. You can download them. Okay, so in that we have already provided the valuable content related to all the examinations like UPSC, APPSC, TGPSC, and Police Department exams as well as MPSC exams. Okay, and also link was provided in the description. Telegram link and other social media platforms link like Instagram link, Facebook link already we have provided. So just open the links and subscribe to those platforms for the regular updates. And also please give your valuable feedback, and we will meet in the next video. Thank you so much. Jai Hind.